Hello student, welcome to my next video. Today we will learn from Mathematics textbook for class 6 NCERT syllabus. Lesson number 2, whole numbers. Today we will solve exercise 2.2. Before starting the exercise, I must tell you that in our previous video we have seen all the properties of whole numbers, that is closure property, commutative, associative and distributive property. Now using those properties we are going to solve the exercise 2.2. I have given the link in the description box of that property. So please go through that link and relate or learn how to use that property to solve the big calculations within a fraction. Now let's start with our first example. Find the sum by suitable rearrangement. Now see, we have to find the sum by rearrangement, means you can arrange the numbers. So let's start with our first question. So here is our first question. 837 plus 208 plus 363. Now we have to rearrange these digits and we have to add them. Now see here, at the unit place there is 7 and here at the unit place there is 3. If we add 7 and 3 we get 0 at the ones place, okay, that is units place. So I will put these two numbers together in one bracket. So our next step is, in the bracket I have written 837 plus 363 plus 208 out of the bracket. Now adding these two numbers gives me the 1200 plus 208 gives me the answer 1408. So see, with rearranging the numbers I have solved this such a big sum within a fraction. Okay. Now here we have used commutative property. I will repeat, what is the meaning of commutative property? The sum of the whole numbers is always same irrespective of the order of number. This property is known as the commutative property of addition. It means if we can change the order of the digits or numbers, the answer, that is the final answer, will not change. Now let's solve the next one. See, now here I have 4 numbers. So let's check the unit place digit. So it is 2, 3, 8 and 7. So again 3 and 7 can be written in 1 because 3 plus 7 gives me the 10, and 8 and 2, here it is 2, it can be written in one bracket. Again 2 plus 8 gives me 10. Now 1962 plus 1538 in one bracket plus 453 plus 647 in another bracket. Understood why I have rearranged this way? Because at the unit place here it is 2, here it is 10. So it's easy to add when we get 0 at the unit place. So I have kept these two numbers in one bracket and these two numbers in another bracket. Now let's add them. After adding I got 3500 plus 1100 and it gives me the answer 4600. I hope you must have understood till here. Okay, now let's move ahead. Find the product by suitable rearrangement. Find the product by suitable rearrangement. Now see, here I have 3 numbers, 2 into 1768 into 50. Now again I will rearrange. So 2 and 50 I will put in one bracket because we know 52 is 100. Okay. So 2 into 50 in one bracket into 1768. 2 into 50 gives me 100 into 1768. And now it's simple because we have learned that when we multiply any number by 10, 100, 1000, we don't have to do any calculation. Just write down that number 1768. I have written as it is 1768 and just give the zeros. So 100 has 2 zeros, so I have written 2 zeros here. If there will be 10, then 1 zero. If there will be 1000, 3 zeros. So this way we have learned that it is very easy to multiply by 10, 100 and 1000. That property we have learned in our previous class. So I have used it here, and see, within a fraction such a big calculation are made so easy. Now next is 4 into 1066 into 25. So see, 4 and 25 I can write in one bracket because we know 25 for the 100. So 4 into 25 in one bracket into 166 gives me 100 into 166. I will write 166 as it is and 2 zeros of 100. Question number C. 8 into 291 into 125. Now I will write 8 and 125 in one bracket into 291. It gives me 1000 into 291. I will write 291 as it is and then 3 zeros of 1000. 625 into 279 into 16. I will add 625 into 16 in one bracket because I know that 5 and 6. See here, at the unit place 5 and 6 is there. So 6 5s are 30. So at the unit place 0 will come. But if I multiply 5 and 9, at the unit place it is 9 5s are 45. So my unit place digit will be 5. So now here also we are trying to get 0 at the ones place. So I have written 625 into 16 in one bracket into 279. Now this bracket gives me the answer 10,000 into 279. I will write 279 as it is and 4 zeros of 10,000. Next is 285 into 5 into 60. Now 285 into 5 into 60 I will write in one bracket. So 285 into this bracket gives me the answer 300. Now how to multiply when there is another number other than 10, 100, 1000, 10,000. So now here it is 300 is there. Now forget the 2 zeros. Forget the 2 zeros. Now we got the digit 3. Now multiply 285 by 3. See here, you just forget these 2 zeros and only 3 will remain. Now multiply 285 by 3. I got the answer 855 and just write these 2 zeros into the final answer. Easy. And the question number F is 125 into 40 into 8 into 25. Now as we know, here there are 4 digits, so we have to arrange them into 2 separate brackets. As we know, 125 into 8 gives me the answer 1000, so I will write that number in one bracket into 40 into 25. Now 125 into 8 gives me the answer 1000. Now see again here 40 into 25. Now again you don't have to do any calculation, just put your hand on 0, so it will remain only 4 digits. So 25 into 4 gives me the answer 100 and I will add this 0 to the answer. So it is 1000 into 1000. Just count the number of zeros, 3 here and 3 here. So I will write 1 and add 6 zeros in front of it. So in multiplication you have to learn the shortcut, and these properties are the shortcuts of solving such a big numbers within a fraction. Now question number 3, find the value of the following. Now let's see how to solve this. Now my first question is question number 3a, 297 into 17 plus 297 into 3. Don't worry, this sum, if you see it, it's like a big sum. Now we have to do so many calculations, but don't worry, Here we are using our property which is distributive property. Now how to solve this such a big sum using distributive property? Let's see. Now if you notice, there is a addition or plus sign in between and we have two terms. Okay. Now in these two terms we have 297 common. Okay. So 297 I will write first into, this into sign is also common, so I will write that into sign also. Now just see, if I take out 297 from this term, what will remain? See, I have taken out 297, so I am keeping my finger here. Only 17 remains, so I have written the 17 in this bracket. Plus sign as it is. If there will be minus, you have to write the minus sign. Now from this term I have taken out 297, so only 3 remain. I will repeat. See, there are two terms, 297 into 70 and 297 into 3, and in between there is a plus sign, addition sign. Now since these 297 is common in both the terms, so I have written it only one time, and the multiplication sign is also common, so I have written it here. Now if I put my finger on 297 and multiplication sign, because I have taken it out, from this term, so only 17 remains, so that I have written into bracket. Plus sign I will write after the 17. Now from this term also I have taken out 297 and 3, so only 3 remain. Understood? Now 297 as it is, and the bracket gives me the answer 20. Now put your hand on 0. Multiplied 297 by 2, I got the answer 594, and add this 0 to the answer. So see, such a big question again we have solved so easily. Let's see the next one. 54,279 into 92 plus 8 into 54,279. Again such a big question. Don't worry. We have formulas, we have properties, we are using distributive properties. Again if you see, there are 54,279 common in these two terms, so I have taken it out. Also the common multiplication sign I have taken out. Now after taking these term out, so only 92 remains, plus sign, and after taking out 54,279 from this term, only 8 remains, so that I have written into next to the plus sign. Now this bracket gives me the answer 100, so I will write this number as it is and 2 zeros of 100. So this is my answer. Question number C. 81,265 into 169 minus 81,265 into 69. Now from here I will take out 81,265 and into sign common. Then into bracket 169. See here, now here there is a minus sign, so I will write minus. If there is a plus, then you can write plus. So I will write minus and the remaining term or remaining number 69. Bracket gives me the answer 100, that I will write simply on next to this number. Now the next question number D. 3,845 into 5 into 782 plus 769 into 25 into 218. This is my one term. I will underline it. You don't have to underline. This is my one term and this is my another term. Now if you notice that no number is common. Now what to do? Do we have to multiply all these numbers? No. Now let's see. Here there is a 5 and here there is a 25. So 25 I can write as 5 into 5. So my next step is I have written this term as it is plus 769 into 5 into 5. Instead of 25, I will write 5 into 5 into 218. Okay. So now see, 5 is common from both the terms. Okay. Now again if you notice, 769 into 5. It gives me the answer. See, 9 5 are 45. So 5 comes at the ones place. So when we multiply these two numbers, I got the answer 3845, which is also common term in both the sides. Okay. So now let's see, we got two common numbers, 3845 and 5. See here and see in this term. Okay. So let's take them out. 3845 into 5 into and 3845 into 5 into. So after taking them out, I got 782 into the bracket plus, because now here there is a plus sign, 218. Okay, because I have taken out these 1 2 3 4 out from this term, so only 218 remains. Now bracket gives me the answer 1000, and that I will add to the 19,225. I will write 3 zeros after that. Now see, nothing was common, but using this property we have done, or we have solved this such a big multiplications within a fraction. Now question number 4. Find the product using suitable properties. Now here we have the sum 738 into 103. Now let's see how to use the distributive property again. Now 103, we can easily write 100 plus 3. It will not change the value of that number. Instead of 103, I will add 100 plus 3. So it's the same thing, 103, and if we add them, we get the answer 103. So now here I have written 103 as 100 plus 3 into the bracket. So I got 738 into bracket 100 plus 3. Now let's multiply 738 and 100 and 738 and 3. So my next step is 738 into 100 plus. Why plus sign? Because here there is a plus sign. If there will be minus sign, so you have to write the minus. So now I will write plus 738 into 3. Okay. Now this gives me the answer 738, 0, 0. These two 0 I just have to write next to the 738. Plus this bracket give me the answer 2214. Now see, we have learned how to multiply the numbers horizontally only. So we are using that property here. 3 8 are 24, 4 here, 2 carry. 3 3s are 9, plus 2 11, so 1 here, 1 carry. 3 7s are 27, plus 1 gives me the 22. So see how very easily we have done this multiplication by one digit. Now just add them and we got the answer 76,014. Let's solve few more examples based on this concept, distributive property. My next sum is 854 into 102. Now 102 we can simply write as 100 plus 2. So here it is 854 into 100 plus 2. 854 into 100. Now let's multiply 854 by 100 and 854 by 2. So I got the next bracket plus sign because here there is a plus sign. This bracket gives me the answer. I will simply have to write 854 and 2 zeros of 100 plus, after multiplying these two numbers I got the answer 1708, and the final answer is you have to add these two numbers. So this is my final answer, 87,108. Now next question number C, 258 into 1000, 1008. So now 1008 can be simply written as 1000 plus 8. Now let's multiply 258 to 1000. plus 258 into 8. So both the bracket gives me the answer, and after adding we got the answer like this. The last one, question number D, 1005 into 168. So 1005 can be written as 100 plus 5 into 168. Now let's multiply 168 to 1000 and 168 to 5. So 1000 into 168 plus 5 into 168 it gives me the answer after solving both the bracket, and let's add them. So this way we have used distributive property to solve the question number 4. Now let's move ahead. Question number 5. A taxi driver filled his car petrol tank with 40 liters of petrol on Monday. On Monday he filled his taxi car with the 40 liters of petrol. The next day, that is Tuesday, he filled the tank with 50 liters of petrol. If the petrol costs 44 rupees per liter, how much did he spend in all on petrol? Now first, on Monday he filled 40 liters and on Tuesday he filled 50 liters of petrol. So now to find out the total petrol filled by the taxi driver, we have to add these two numbers, and then let's see whether we have to do multiplication or division. Don't think whether there is a multiplication or division in this sum. I will show you one easy way to find out whether we have to do multiplication or division. Now let's see how to solve this sum. Now fill petrol on Monday, you have to write the statement. So write your statement as small as possible. Fill petrol on Monday 40 liter. Fill petrol on Tuesday 50 liter. Now let's find out the total petrol filled is 40 plus 50 is equal to 90 liter. Okay. Now what is given in the sum is that the cost of the petrol, the cost of 1 liter of petrol is 44 rupees. Okay. So now I have written these two terms, petrol and its cost. Which two terms are given? That is petrol and cost. Now see, I have made one chart here. 1 liter of petrol costs 44 rupees. 1 liter of petrol costs 44 rupees. Now we total have 90 liter of petrol. So I will write 90 liter below the petrol, not below the cost. Okay. So I will write 90 liter below the petrol. So we have 1 liter petrol costs 44 rupees. Then what is the cost? See, what is the cost? So we have to find out the cost. So I have written question mark below the cost. What is the cost of 90 liter of petrol? After question mark, I have written A as a variable. See, this chart is very important. It will decide we have to do multiplication or division. Okay. So this chart is very important. Again I will repeat what they have given in the sum, that two quantities, that petrol and cost. So I have written them. Now 1 liter of petrol costs 44 rupees. It is given by them. And in the question, see at the end it is written how much did he spend in all on petrol. So here we have to find out the cost of the petrol. So I have given the question mark below the cost. I have written A as a variable. You can write any letter. I have taken A. You can write B, C, X, Y, any letter. What is the cost of 90 liter? Now just cross multiply them. What you have to do? Cross multiply. So 1 into A. I have written down 1 into A, and 44 into 90 is equal to sign, give is equal to sign and write 44 into 90. See what I have done? After writing this chart, I have cross multiplied the number. Cross means one number up and one number down of opposite side. So 1 into A and 44 into 90. Here don't write any units. Like you don't have to liter and rupees here. Okay. So now we know that any number multiplied by 1. Any number multiplied by 1 gives me the answer same number. Like 1 into 2 gives me the answer 2. 1 into 3 gives me the answer 3. So 1 into A gives me the answer A is equal to 44 into 90 as it is. Remember, in the equation you have to write the equal to sign below each other. Now here we have to multiply. See, automatically we got that in this sum we have to multiply these two numbers. We don't have to divide. So just don't think we have to do multiplication or division. What to do now? Just write down this equation, and after solving it you will automatically get whether you have to multiply or divide. Now here there is a multiplication. Now again such a big numbers. Now what to do? We have our properties. So instead of 90 I can write it as a 100 minus 10. So it gives me, see, 100 minus 10 is as equal as 90. So I have written 9 instead of 90, 100 minus 10. Now let's multiply 44 to 100 and 44 to 10. So 44 into 100 I have written in one box, minus sign because there is a minus sign here, and 44 into 10. Okay, now it gives me the answer. A is equal to, you have to write down A. The left hand side you have to carry as it is. 4400 minus 440 gives me the answer 3960. So what is A? A is the cost. We have written A below the cost. So this number is not a liter, it is the cost. So therefore he spent money on petrol is equal to rupees 3960. Now let's see the question number 6. A vendor supplies 32 liters of milk to a hotel in the morning. See, a vendor supplies milk. He supplies 32 liters of milk to a hotel in the morning and 68 liters of milk in the evening. If the milk costs rupees 15 per liter, how much money is due to the vendor per day? Okay. Now, before solving this example, we have to see how much total of milk he supplies to the hotel. In the morning he supplies 32 liters and in the evening he supplies 68 liters. So now let's see how to solve this example. Now he supplies milk in morning 32 liters and supplies milk in evening 68 liters. I told you, you have to write the statement as short as possible. Now let's find out total supply of milk is 32 plus 68 equals to 100 liter. Now what is next? They have asked how much due, means how much cost we have to find out. Now in the sum we have given that 1 liter cost of milk is equal to 15 rupees. Now we have two terms, that is cost and milk. What they have given? The cost of 1 liter of milk. So we have written cost and milk, the two terms. Now let's fill the numbers below each other. Now 1 liter of milk costs 15 rupees. You can write milk first and cost later, doesn't matter. You can write this milk first and cost later. You can change the position of these two quantities. Now here 1 liter costs 15 rupees. Then what is the cost? What is the cost? So that is the question. We have to find out the cost. So I have written the question mark below the cost and A as a variable. As I told you, you can take any number here. What is the cost of 100 liter of milk. So 100 liter I have written below milk. Okay. Now our next step is cross multiply. So first one is 15 into 100. Now see, I have written here 15 into 100 is equal to 1 into A. 1 into A. Okay, after cross multiplying, we have to write the equation with equal sign. Now as we know, any number multiplied by 1 gives me the answer. Same number, so I have written 1 into A and 15 into 100, 1500. So directly we got the value of A. So what is A? A is the cost. A is the cost. It is not the liter. So our final answer statement is, therefore due to the vendor per day is equal to 1500 rupees. Now the last question number, that is question number 7. Match the following. I will explain it in the textbook only. Now first see what they have written. 425 into 136 is equal to 425 into 6 plus 30 plus 100. Now see what they have done. 136 they have expanded. They just have expanded. So we have seen that 425 into 136 is equal to 425 into 6 plus 30 plus 100. So expansion of the number, like we have solved before that 102. So that can be written as 100 plus 2. 108 can be written as 100 plus 8. 1005 can be written as 1000 plus 5. So similarly, they have written 136 as 6 plus 30 plus 100. So this is our distributivity of multiplication over addition. Next sum is 2 into 49 into 50 is equal to 2 into 50 into 49. See, there are 3 digits on one side, 3 numbers on one side, and another side also has 3 numbers, but only the order is changed. Here 2 into 49 is first written, here 2 into 50 is written. 50 is the last number, here 49 is the last number. Only the order of number is changed. So that is our commutativity under multiplication. We have seen in our property that if you multiply 2 into 3 gives the answer 6, or 3 into 2 gives the answer 6. So the final product will not change in multiplication for whole number if you change their order. The last one is 80 plus 205 plus 20 is equal to 80 plus 20 plus 205. Now see here, again only the position or order is changed, or they are rearranged. That is maybe the word you must have known while solving this example. So they have just rearranging the numbers in addition of whole numbers will not change its answer. So this is our commutativity under addition. Okay, so here there are all the addition signs, so it is commutative of under addition, and here there is a multiplication sign, therefore it is commutativity under multiplication. So this is the end of exercise 2.2. I hope you must have understood the sums which I have solved. Go through it and you solve them on your own. Thank you.